Hi, this is S.G. Brownlow. I've been asked several questions recently that really related to each other. How do we make sense of our emotional life? How do we know we've mastered an emotion? Why would we even want to master an emotion? What does that even mean? And so I'd like to talk about that briefly in this video. So when you think about what emotions are, they're really prepackaged kinds of modules that are built into us, that they our thinking, our physiology, our expression, our posture, our behavior, our motivation are all sort of built together. They're there for us to do something. They're there for a reason, and the reason is for us to go perform some specific action. And so when you think about all the specific actions that we could perform that are directed to by emotions, that are focused on whatever the emotion is, there's a lot of different things that we could be doing at any one time. So there's maybe a finite number, but there's a very large number of different emotions. They're different because there's different things that we could do. They're just slightly different. And when you look at different languages, if you know several different languages, then you realize that the word that means some specific emotion like anger or sadness in one emotion doesn't quite have the same connotations and the same meaning in another language. And that's because they're not quite the same emotion. They're closely related, but they're not quite the same. And because they're all of those different emotions, and because we're all human, now this is my belief, because of that, we are going to experience all of them. We can experience all of them because we're human, but because we live human lives, we inevitably will experience all of them. And so even someone who is the richest person in the world is going to feel like they don't have enough, or they're going to feel inadequate or something at some point or other. People who are in good relationships are still going to feel jealous. People who seem to have everything are still going to be envious about something that somebody else has, maybe free time. I don't know. But all of those things are things that we all experience, and so we all have to master them. So what is mastery? Well, when you think about why we have those emotions, is to get particular needs met. We have a need to feel safe. We have a need to find connection with other people. We have a need to be competent and to feel like what we do is helping others. We have a need to become more and more a part of ourselves. And underlying all of that, we have a need to effectively regulate our emotions, because if we don't regulate them, then they become very stressful and we get sick and die. Pretty bottom line stuff. So when you realize that that's what emotions do, and all emotions are there to meet or help us meet specific needs, then when we think about what is a mastered emotion, it's one that's helping us reach a need. And so there are some emotions, like frustration, for instance, that don't really help us meet any needs. We can get as frustrated as we possibly can, but it's not going to get us what we wished we had. And so with some emotions like that, the thing that we need to do to master them is to learn to look behind them to see what's going on. And what's going on behind frustration is a couple of things. One is maybe our need to set some limits on our own behavior or on what we're willing to do for other people. And the other one is maybe some sadness that we're giving up something that we really wished we didn't have to give up. And so mastering frustration, for instance, is learning to grieve what we've lost and learning to set limits so that we don't continue to be taken advantage of. That's how you master some emotions. Some emotions, like shame, are there to show us that we've gotten off track somehow, that we've done something that we need to look at. Now, we've probably, in the case of shame, very likely drawn the wrong conclusion. We think it means that there's something horribly wrong with us. It may just mean that other people are not connecting to us at that moment. That's okay. What we have to do is learn to bear those emotions, get the true message from them, which is that we need to get back on track again. And we need to get back on track. Now, a lot of times that's made complicated because we assume we know what the track is, and we don't really. Our real track is not to connect with other people. It's not to be competent for other people. It's to be fully and completely ourselves and to connect fully, completely, and ecstatically with the infinite. When we do that, then we will have mastered all of the painful emotions. And the emotions that we'll experience most frequently will be joy, bliss, ecstasy, serenity, the kinds of things that lead us to the infinite. So that's how we know we've mastered emotions. If you're having problems mastering your emotions, please contact me. Let me see if I can help you. I'd be happy to see what I can do and put you on the right track if I can.